If I could redesign Pakistan's school curriculum. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Today, I want to ask you a simple question. What is the real purpose of school? Is it only to help students pass exams? Or is it to prepare them for life? Imagine a child who studies from grade 1 to grade 10 but cannot continue their education because of financial problems or family responsibilities. This happens to thousands of students across Pakistan every year. Now ask yourself, after spending 10 years in school, is that student truly prepared for life? Can they manage money? Do they understand the importance of halal income? Do they know how to build strong relationships? Do they understand their responsibilities as Muslims? In my opinion, not enough. Before I continue, I want to make one thing clear. This video is not against our teachers. Our teachers work hard, often with limited resources. This video is also not against our schools. I simply believe that our curriculum can become even better. Mathematics, science, English, Urdu, and all the other subjects are important. But education should do more than prepare students for exams. It should prepare them for life. If I had the opportunity to redesign Pakistan's curriculum, the first change I would make would be Islamic education. Practical Islamic education. As Muslims, our children should not learn Islam only to pass an examination. They should understand Islam in a way that inspires them. From grade 1 to grade 10, students should learn the life of Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, as one continuous story. Every year, they should discover another chapter of his life. His honesty, his patience, his mercy, his leadership, his courage, his character. By the time students complete matric, they should know the seerah so well that the Prophet naturally becomes their role model. I would also introduce a separate hadith class, not to memorize difficult Arabic texts, not to prepare for another exam, but to understand authentic hadith through simple and engaging stories. The lessons could be based on authentic narrations from books like Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, explained in language appropriate for each age. Every year, students would learn hadith about honesty, respecting parents, keeping promises, helping neighbors, showing mercy, speaking the truth, earning halal income, avoiding haram, and remembering Allah. Imagine a child hearing authentic hadith every week for 10 years. By the time they leave school, they would have been introduced to hundreds of authentic teachings that can guide them throughout life. Unfortunately, many children hear only one message: pray so you can go to paradise. Of course, paradise is our ultimate goal. But Islam also teaches us that obeying Allah brings peace, blessings, discipline, and barakah in this life. I don't want children to follow Islam because someone forces them. I want them to love Islam because they understand it. Imagine a child coming home and reminding their parents that it's time to pray, not because they are afraid, but because they understand why prayer matters. That is the kind of education I dream of. Education should not simply fill a student's mind with information. It should shape their character. It should build faith. It should prepare them to become good human beings before they become professionals. In the next part, I want to talk about something just as important. Why do we prepare almost every child to become an employee? Why don't we also teach them how to become entrepreneurs, manage money, understand taxes, communicate with people, and prepare for real life? The second thing I would add is life education. Students should understand that failure is not the end of life. Everyone fails. Everyone faces disappointment. Successful people are simply those who keep moving forward. Schools should regularly invite entrepreneurs, professionals, and motivational speakers to share their journeys. Not just their success stories, but also their failures. Children need to know that life is full of ups and downs, and that every setback is an opportunity to grow. There is one sentence almost every child in Pakistan hears: if you don't study, you won't get a job. Why is every child being prepared only to become an employee? Why don't we also tell them, you can build your own business? You can become an entrepreneur. You can create jobs for others. There is nothing wrong with doing a job. A job is an honorable way to earn a living. But it should not be the only dream we give our children. School should teach them that they have choices. Financial and civic education. Before leaving school, every student should understand the basics of life. What is income tax? What is sales tax? Why do governments collect taxes? How does a bank work? What is saving? What is investing? What is inflation? What is a budget? What is the difference between a good loan and a dangerous loan? These topics affect every adult, yet many people learn them only after making expensive mistakes. These lessons should not feel like boring textbooks. Teach them through stories, animations, real-life examples, discussions. Education should be practical. Another thing I would introduce is reading great books, not for exams, not for memorization. Simply to expose students to powerful ideas. Books like The Psychology of Money, Atomic Habits, The Richest Man in Babylon, How to Win Friends and Influence People, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The goal is not to make every student agree with every book. The goal is to make them curious. Because one good book can completely change someone's future.
No exams for these subjects. One more thing, I don't want these subjects to become another burden on students. No memorizing pages just to forget them after an exam. No unnecessary pressure. Instead, teach through stories, group discussions, activities, videos, role-playing, and practical real-life examples. Make students excited to attend these classes. Because education should prepare us for life, not just for examinations. My dream is very simple. If a child cannot continue their education after matric, they should still leave school with something far more valuable than marks. They should know how to be a good Muslim, a good son or daughter, a good husband or wife in the future, a citizen who understands how society works, a person who respects others, a lifelong learner. If our schools can produce students with knowledge, character, discipline, and faith, then I truly believe Pakistan's future can change. This is not about changing every subject. It is about adding the knowledge that every child deserves before entering the real world. Because education should not only help us earn a living, it should also teach us how to live. Before I end this video, I want to address a question that many of you may have. Some people might think that a 16 or 17-year-old is too young to learn about taxes, investing, business, relationships, or even many of these Islamic teachings. And I understand that concern. But I'm not asking schools to make students experts in these subjects. I'm asking schools to introduce them. Think about your own childhood. How many stories do you still remember that your parents or grandparents told you before bedtime? At that age, we didn't fully understand their deeper meaning. But as we grew older, many of those lessons began to make sense. The same can happen here. A student may not understand the importance of halal income until they receive their first salary. They may not appreciate a lesson about raising children until they become parents. They may not care about saving or investing until they start earning. They may not fully understand the value of prayer until they face difficult moments in life. Education is about planting seeds. Not every seed grows immediately. Some take years to bloom. If we plant the right ideas in our children today, those ideas can guide them when life presents the right opportunities. That is the kind of education I dream of. Thank you for listening. If you agree, share your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.